I'm Ray.
And I'm Veronica.
And welcome to the Chick Lit Book Club podcast,
where we read a romance novel and then we talk about it. Today we're talking about Beneath the Stands by Emily McIntire.
Hello, my dear.
Hello.
Did you notice I didn't do an English accent this
I was
time?
literally just going to say that.
I was holding back. I was like, do not do it.
Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. We managed today.
I started saying, hello.
Hello. God, we're the worst.
We are, but we're kind of the best because Ireland loves us.
Oh my God. So
that was really loud. I'm sorry, guys.
You're fine. So we have at least one listener from Ireland, and we're just going to assume it was Jack Devlin that did it.
Oh man, him and Jack Devlin's penis brought in Ireland.
That beautiful man.
Yep. It was Guinness, Jameson, and Jack Devlin penis. What? I said it. We're better friends for it.
I mean, it is what it is.
It is what it is.
I've known you for a long time.
Big, gorgeous cock.
There you go.
So we're here to talk about a pretty awesome book tonight.
Yeah.
Speaking of cock.
Been waiting.
There's so much cock in this book.
There's a lot of cock in this book.
It's cock-tacular. Stupendous cocktaculous. There we go. So
sounds like a fucking Harry Potter spell.
Oh Jesus! Accio cock.
I mean, is that like wizarding Viagra or something?
Ooh, maybe. Well, it brings things to you. So I'm just gonna go stand outside naked and just scream Accio cock outside. Accio Chris Evans cock.
Oh, sweet Jesus, if that worked.
Oh, well, you'd never see me again because I would have died.
Sorry, the podcast is ending.
Sorry, Ray hasn't come out of her room for weeks because
Accio Chris Evans worked.
Yeah, I think she's dead. He fucked her to death. It's fine. What a way to go.
Oh, damn it. What an awful way to die.
The sweet caress of death takes me. We'll be in bed with Captain America and Captain America's ass.
America's ass. What a horrible way to die.
Oh, suffocated by that beautiful ass.
Oh, well.
Anywho, right?
Well, damn it.
I know. Yeah, you know, I was going to text you this week because we were talking about Chris Evans and how wonderful he is, because that's usually what we talk about on a daily basis.
Yeah, just
and
if you ever wonder what we talk about.
Yeah, it's usually that. There's one thing in my life that I do kind of now wish maybe I had just said screw it and looked at those naked pictures of his cock.
I won't lie, I didn't realize I didn't mean to, because it was like a severe, I don't know. I mean, it was an accident that he leaked it, and I didn't want to it felt like a violation of his privacy to seek it out, and I wasn't seeking it out, but I was scrolling Twitter to be like, why is Chris Evans trending? And I accidentally saw it. And so I am super sorry, Chris Evans. You have nothing to be sorry about, but
yeah, I mean,
I am sorry.
I'm just going to ask him so
your privacy.
So does okay. All right. But yeah, so those are
things to be sorry about.
No, those are things that I think about, though. I'm like, well, back in my life, I'll be like, I never got to England, never got to Scotland, never got to see Chris Evans' penis. Damn it.
Okay. On your deathbed, that's what you'll be thinking about.
Yep. Well, that's because he'll be suffocating me with his ass, so.
Well, you would have seen it then, so.
Yep, there we go.
There you go.
Hello. Hi. Tell me something good.
Girl, I did not have a good week. However, I had 1/2 wonderful things happen. On Wednesday, I got my first COVID shot.
Yay!
And on Thursday, my husband got his first COVID shot.
Yay!
Which is like
Kermit arms.
Yes, Kermit arms. Just like I was emotional when I got mine. Like, I almost cried waiting in line. He and I staggered ours because there have been so many reports of people being sick for a solid 24 hours afterward. And so with a toddler, you really cannot.
You need a functional adult.
You need at least one functional adult. Yeah. So we chose to stagger ours by about 24 hours. So the way it'll work out, we'll at least have one functional adult, hopefully, provided that things work out the way they're supposed to. Of course, we know that never fucking happens. So anyway, I was emotional when I got mine. And I did take a photo, and I was like, I asked the woman, I was like, do you mind if I take a picture? And she was like, as long as I'm not in it, it's fine.
Yeah.
Which, I totally get that.
And I was not allowed to.
Right. Like, you were told you were not allowed to, but there was no one in my photo. Like, it was just me. Mm-hmm. She could see what I was doing, because, like, front-facing camera. She did it. It was funny, though. She was like, go ahead and just, like, relax your arms. And so I did. And she was like, no, but relax your arm. And I was like, but this is me relaxed. Like, I'm just a tense person. So just jam that needle in my arm. I'm fine.
Give me life.
Give me life. She also asked me if I understood the side effects. And I was like, yes. And the only one I care about is that I'm not going to die of COVID and leave my daughter here. And she goes, okay, but like swelling at the injection site. And like,
she's like, dark. But
like, holy shit, this woman's intense. But she was like rattling off the side effects and stuff. And I was like, got it. Yes. Okay. I understand.
Yeah. When you texted that to me, I was like, so you went full on Veronica. I got it. I got you.
I did. I was full on intense Veronica. In fact, one of my coworkers, when he saw my post about like how I was emotional about getting the shot, he was like, you emotional? No shit. And in fact, I just replied with a Kermit gif of him just like slowly turning his head to look at the camera. Because like, yes, I am an emotional person. Okay. What the fuck about it? So
it's
anyway,
an emotional time.
It is an emotional time. So it was really like the next day that got me, because then my husband went and got his, and he sent me the photo, like, obviously, because you've gotten them, but like you get the shot and then they make you sit for 15 minutes. You had to sit for a little bit longer, but so he texted me like a photo of the vaccine card while he was sitting there for his 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Ray, I fucking lost it. Like, I just started sobbing.
Yeah.
Just ugly crying.
Yeah.
Unable to loud sobs to myself in my house.
Yeah.
Because he's been the person I've been worried about the whole time. I mean, obviously like other people as well in my life, but he's the other half of the adults in my household. He's
half of your team.
Half of my team. Obviously, I'm married to the man. I love him. But like, also, I don't want, it will be harder for him because of the higher risks that he has. And so I just have been like, I mean, for the past year, both of us have just been walking on eggshells. So the fact that like we both even just have one dose in us makes me feel like the relief was intense. And he said the same thing. He said the same thing. Like, I already feel at least a little bit better because that one dose is in my body.
And they're saying like it's the people with the vaccinations, full vaccinations, are not getting it.
Yeah.
They're not contracting it.
God. So, I mean,
I'm sad for those who have issues with taking it, that, that they could possibly still get it. And that's sad. And I feel bad for them. That's your choice. I think it's not the right choice, but that's not, it's not my choice.
I do know I have a couple pregnant friends who are choosing not to get it right now, which I do sense. Get. I mean, because obviously their body, their choice. I totally get it. I fully support it. When you are pregnant, like,
it's not just your body.
It's not just your body, but like, there are so many things. They know a lot about pregnancy, but they also know a remarkably tiny amount about pregnancy. Yeah. They don't know. They won't do testing on a pregnant woman. Any woman that they know is pregnant or think might be pregnant, they will not test anything on that person.
That makes sense.
So, sure. But then that means that there's no fucking data on how anything affects a fetus.
The only thing is you could go off of flu vaccinations, because for the most part, I mean...
Well, sure. But I'm not a scientist, but I'm willing to bet
I play on TV.
I'm basically a doctor. I've watched 17 seasons of Grey's Anatomy.
I watch Doctor Who, so I'm good.
See, there you go. But I'm willing to bet that a significant portion of the data that we have on how medication affects fetuses, is that the plural?
Yeah.
is an accident. That like this woman did not know she was pregnant or whatever. And like, then they were like, oh shit, I'm pregnant and I've been taking this medication and now like this birth defect has occurred, you know?
Yeah.
So I understand like the hesitation there, and there's so much surrounding.
Oh, totally.
I totally get that.
I wouldn't look anything.
Right. One of my friends was like, I'm due in 3 months. Like I'll get it when, you know, whatever. So anyway, that points to the importance of herd immunity. Like my daughter is too young to be vaccinated. There's no vaccination that is approved for someone her age. At this juncture, testing has been good for down to 12-year-olds for the Pfizer vaccine, but like that, my daughter's nowhere near that, you know? Right. So for like, we know we're going to have to attend at least one wedding later in the year. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, that's going to be the biggest crowd that she has been around in 2 years, probably by that point, like by the time she rolls up to that juncture in October. And so it's super important to me that all of these fucking people that are going to be at this wedding have been vaccinated because they're going to be around my toddler.
Right.
Who cannot, she's too little to be vaccinated.
Right.
Get your fucking shots, guys.
Cool.
Okay.
I'm happy for you. I'm I don't know what I was trying to say there. I'm happy for you. I don't know what
scappy for me.
I'm scappy for you. I'm scabby for you.
Tell me about your bright spot for the week, dear.
Well, so I listened to a lot of podcasts, a lot of different ones.
And you have had time off this week, so.
I have had time off this week. That is not my bright spot. That's not my bright spot because I'm doing house shit. So it's not like I'm like, hey, let's go. And plus, we're in a fucking pandemic. So
who the fuck is doing cool shit?
Yeah, but so on a general day, because I can listen to podcasts at work while I work. And I listened to one in particular that yesterday had me laughing so hard I had to text Veronica because I said, oh my God, I never realized that Jordan and Dan from Knowledge Fight are you and I, but men. So, and here's a little pull behind the curtain, or look behind the curtain. They do bright spots on, and so I kind of, you know, cribbed it from them. I kind of borrowed it from them. I like it. But I was thinking, let's work on something good that happened to you this week. So Dan would be me. Dan's bright spot was they guested on another podcast. He was like talking about it. And I've listened to the other podcasts. It's very funny. And then they go to Jordan and Jordan says, opening day! He starts freaking out. And I go, oh my God, that's Veronica. And so they go back to Dan and Dan's like, so I remember when, I can't remember what baseball players he kept pulling up. And I was like, oh, I even know that guy doesn't play anymore. And so I laughed along with them and I was thinking, yep, that's the two of us.
That's us. That's me and you right there. You're more knowledgeable about current players though.
I am. I do know some of the Cleveland team. But you're more of like, you watch it, right? Religiously.
Yeah, I did. I mean, I can at least listen to it. Like even while I'm working, like I can get work done. Like I can't listen to podcasts. I can't have like that kind of those words going on in my mind when I'm trying to do things. But I can have like a baseball game on because it becomes like background noise for me. Mm-hmm. And then, you know, like the crowds are really small right now. I think on opening day, Thursday, it was something like 8,000. Literally, it was like a sellout crowd of 8,000 people. But I can have that on the background and listen to it and like look up when things get exciting and go back to my shit, or like, you know, if I'm cleaning or just I can do other things while I have a baseball game. I don't have to sit there and watch every moment of it.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
But I do. I mean, I keep up with baseball. I love baseball. I know not everyone does because they say it's boring and shit, but like, I love baseball. I really do. I have a lot of ire about the fact that girls, at least when I was younger and growing up, were not allowed to play baseball. I specifically didn't play softball because it pissed me off.
Wait, you didn't play Little League? I played Little League.
Did you play Little League? Like
I did.
baseball Little League?
Yeah, I played with the boys.
That was not an option for me. I mean,
I was horrible at it, but I did. I played. I was outfield, and I can't. I'm like the worst outfielder because I can't judge. It's hard for me
like
to judge
like your spatial awareness. Is yeah.
I mean, I caught. I was a catcher when I played softball. Mm-hmm.
I refused to play softball in high school. Now I went to an all-girls high school, so baseball.
I played in an adult league when I was in high school.
Girl, like I already respect you, but like that just tick that up a notch.
Also, I will hit anything that comes over the plate.
Holla.
I won't hit the first. You have to have at least one strike, as my grandfather used to say. So you can't hit the first pitch.
Oh, well, that's fair. I think your grandpa's right. You got to watch that first pitch come over. Yeah. So anyway, I love baseball. I agree with you, dude, over at Knowledge Fight. I forget which one it is. Dan?
Jordan.
I love opening day. I celebrate exactly 3 holidays in my life. Christmas, birthdays, which is multiple days, I suppose. Like my birthday, other people's birthdays, and opening day.
There you go.
I fucking love opening day. So I guess that's another bright spot for this week.
There you go.
That it was opening day, and it fucking snowed.
It snowed, and Cleveland lost.
Inch of snow on the ground.
Yeah. Well, that was what we were kind of pissed off about. So, and just as a plug, if you're interested, and I would highly recommend, is Knowledge Fight, which, again, never get political on this podcast, but it is a podcast to which Dan watches 4 hours of Alex Jones at least 3 times a week, each episode, and then relates it to Jordan, who
just reacts to it, right?
He reacts to it, and he plays clips. So and they're both comedians.
So it's not a 4-hour-long podcast. Like
no, it's usually an hour and a half. He just pulls out the goods.
He pulls out
quote unquote good stuff.
Good stuff, yes.
Yep. So it's Knowledge Fight. You can get it on Spotify. I would recommend. It's very
also funny. At one point, you and I talked about doing a podcast where you just read things to me to make me angry.
Well, that's kind of what happened.
Do you remember that?
Yes. So just to give you an idea, Dan will say to Jordan, mic down for this. And he actually has to put the microphone down because they use the handhelds. He has to put it because he knows it's going to be something that's going to piss Jordan off. And then you could just hear Jordan screaming in the background. That would be our podcast.
Is us.
That is. Oh my God. Now I think about it. Oh my God, it is. It is because I could be like, this is going to piss you off, Veronica. And then
mic
would
down.
Just be mic down. That's what our phrase is going to be from now on. We're going to steal something else from Knowledge Fight.
We love you guys. Sorry.
Yeah.
Not sorry. You're great.
Yeah. Go listen to them, please.
Mm-hmm.
But all right. So let's talk about a book. All right. So
I got him.
Mic down already.
I am such a loser.
No, this is a good book.
This is such a good book. Spoiler alerts abound. No, I'm kidding. I'm not kidding. We will not spoil things.
No,
but spoiler alert, we love this book.
Yeah. So we'll see you back in 2 and 2.
And we're back.
We're back!
Mic down.
I'm super hyper. I don't know why.
I don't know.
Maybe it's the sinus pills I took beforehand.
There you go.
Listeners, just... I took some sinus pills because I'm sure you're tired of me sniffling by the end of the episode.
We live in Ohio, okay?
We do live in Ohio. And alcohol gives my nose a little plugged up there. Anywho, would you like to talk about this book?
I do want to talk about this book. You know I've been waiting for so long to read this fucking book.
I know.
I'm so excited.
I know.
And I pre-ordered the 3rd one. It's going to download to my goddamn Kindle on Tuesday. I'm so excited.
The moment it comes out.
Moment that fucker comes out, it's downloaded to my Kindle. I cannot wait.
You should get an alert on your phone.
Veronica. This book is downloaded. I will probably be just holding my Kindle like at 12:01 a.m. Like, I'm ready.
Like
I'm ready to be ripped to shreds. Please just download.
Emotionally ripped to shreds.
I'm ready to be dragged to hell, sis. So just.
That's a good movie.
I have not seen it, which is shocking, I'm sure.
I know. I mean, there's a horror movie that you haven't seen.
There's an movie that I haven't seen.
You have seen Empire Strikes Back, right?
No.
Oh, I couldn't remember which of the
I saw
three.
the first one. I saw the very, very first one. The OG.
And we're still friends. I don't understand.
I love you.
I know, I love you too. It's okay.
At one point I did, this is, okay, really quick sidebar, and then we're going to get into Beneath the Stands. At one point, not too long ago, my neighbor, like, put out a flag. And I was like, what the fuck is that? And it, like, everyone in my household was like, what is that thing? And I took a picture of it, and I sent it to Ray, and I was like, hey, I feel like you just know things, so maybe you'll know what this flag means. Like, what is this? And she literally just texted me back a picture of her wrist. And she said, it's the Star Wars Rebel flag. I had no fucking clue. But that's the flag that is flying at my neighbor's house.
I'm single, guys. I'm single. It's cool. No worries. And the other wrist has a Walt Whitman quote on it, so I'm
What's
fucking
the Walt Whitman
single.
quote?
Do anything but let it produce joy. Yeah, I love Walt Whitman. I mean, is it a shocker? I love gay men. Come on. I mean, come on. Yeah, again.
So much. The love I feel for you runs real deep. Deep in my chest.
I love you very much. You know that.
I do know that.
And I know you love this book a lot.
I do. I love it.
Would you?
And I love her writing.
I agree.
I think like Emily McIntire is extremely talented.
Co-signed.
Yep. Yeah. She's real good.
She's real good.
I was waiting for you to read this book. So I somehow managed to not read
And I
this.
finished it before you.
You did. You finished it before me, and I was like, I cannot believe that. So I just had to.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, again, you had time off this week,
I had
so
time
you
off.
were able to like push.
But
forward.
I mean, like we were saying right before we came on, it was a quick read. It moved quickly.
It moves quickly. Yeah. It's not like short by any means,
No.
but
moves
it's
quickly.
Yeah, but it didn't feel like it was too long. I mean,
no.
No, it moves and the information is pertinent. Like at no point was I like, oh my God, this is fucking dragging. I didn't feel that way at all.
There's no side stories that I'm like, wait, did we need this? Nothing like
that. It's relevant.
Right.
Yeah.
So do you want to give a little synopsis?
Yes. Okay, so I am so awful.
No,
so
you're super excited. I love it.
I am excited. So this book is called Beneath the Stands, and it's the second. My face is like split in half with a grin.
You have the biggest smile on your face.
I have a huge smile on my face. So this one is the second book in the Sugar Lake series by Emily McIntire. You don't have to read the first one. So Ray did not read the first one.
I did not.
But I did. So she can confirm, she told me earlier that you weren't like lost.
I wasn't lost. But, excuse me. I think it would be more beneficial if you do read the first book, because we talked about things like, well, did this happen in the first book, or did you get to see this part? So I think for completists, you probably should.
Yeah, there's more context clues that you get, and like more character development, because you're introduced to both of these characters and given hints about them throughout the first book.
Right.
So it's something I recommend. It's called Beneath the Stars, and it's so good. One thing about Emily McIntire that I love is that she writes angsty stories.
Whew.
And they are angsty. But to me, that's real life. Like, I've not lived like a golden life.
No.
And, you know, I've been through some shit. So for me, in some ways, it almost hits too close to home at times. So if you're looking for like a gentle, quick, just escapism read, don't go for this. Like, come back to it. And actually, she says that at the beginning of the book. She has a note that's like, if you're looking for an easy read, like, this is angsty and will be heartbreaking at times. Both of the books say that at the beginning.
Yeah.
So I don't feel like I'm stepping out of bounds by saying that or anything like that. So anyway, the two characters in this book are Becca and Eli. And so here's the description as written on the Amazon page. Becca, I hated before I loved. I loved and then I lost. And the only man I've ever wanted is one out of reach. Temptation is the devil's candy, but I lost my faith in God years ago. He's forbidden, off limits, my biggest secret, one I'm determined to take to my grave. I've learned to live with the ghost of his memory, craving his touch, but relieved he never comes home. Until one day he does, and everything comes crashing down. After all, nothing secret stays hidden for long. And from Eli's perspective, he says, I lost before I left. I left and then I loved. And the only woman I've ever seen is the one I resent. There's a thin line between love and hate, but I stopped playing in bounds years ago. She's forbidden, off limits, my sister's best friend, the one who blazes like the sun. I've learned to live in the shade, forgetting the heat and embracing the cold, until finally I'm home and everything goes up in flames. After all, she's the only one who lights my fire, and I always chase the match.
Your face.
You know I love that angsty shit.
So I think we probably should talk, since I do like the summary, but I think we should talk about the book a little bit more, give some context.
Sure. Yeah.
So we have Becca, who is at Florida Central University, correct?
Yeah. I think FCU.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And she is a psychology major. I had to ask because I was like, I didn't get it.
Well, it's not like, I only remembered because you had asked me like right after I read it. I very recently read it. She doesn't really talk about it a lot, but it just happened to be mentioned. She becomes a social worker.
Yeah. And so she's in her last year at FCU, and Elliot had played for he played for Ohio, I would assume.
It didn't say. It said he played ball in Ohio. I was wondering that. Like, it didn't say.
Would have to be Cincinnati, or is there a Cincinnati?
Let's
team?
just say it's Cincinnati.
Sure. Well, because it was NBA,
loves
right?
OSU here. Well, he played college ball in Ohio, and then he went to the NBA in New York.
That's right. He was
drafted
of the Knickerbockers.
Probably.
But he had sustained an injury, and they had to pay him out of his contract, but he could no longer play.
Yeah.
So he is down in Florida coaching the FCU team, unbeknownst to Becca. And
I think it's his first year.
It is his first coaching
but
gig.
she didn't know that was happening.
No. And there's some animosity because how much
they knew each other as kids.
Well, and you kind of, I mean, you know very quickly, very shortly into the book, is that Lee and Elliot's mother is deceased. And he kind of...
Lee is Elliot's sister.
Yeah.
You probably got that.
And so Lee harbors a little bit of animosity towards her brother because he never came home pretty much to check in with them. And so she's been taking care of her father, or of their father. So she's, obviously, shared these feelings with Becca. So Becca has a lot of, animosity, but I've been using that too many times, towards Eli because he wasn't there for her, for Lee.
Becca and Lee are like best friends. They grew up together.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So you get that right off the bat, and oh boy, does she have some words for him, because she ends up being a manager, like a student manager.
A student manager of the team.
For the team, and he has to be the one to pretty much teach her about basketball.
Yeah. And
shortly into that training, some other training began. Sexual training. She's pretty. She doesn't need any training. But I think that's where you need to go from here. I think as much you would need to know, because
it's an enemies to lovers romance. So
Yeah. But
again, we need therapy.
Everyone needs therapy.
Everyone needs therapy.
I'm going to easily say everybody in this book definitely needs therapy.
For sure. They all need therapy.
They don't know it, but they do. But it's
they know
enemies
it eventually.
to lovers, but it's not too. It's the enemies doesn't last very long.
No, they start to get along.
Yeah. No, they
Pretty
get along.
well.
Yowza.
Hot. This book, I will say, the first book is also very steamy. This one is steamy in kind of a different way, I think. It's like a little more. I mean, I would say it's more explicit, but like there are some pretty explicit parts in the first one, so I don't know.
Yeah, I gasped a couple times, like, oh.
Sure. Yeah.
I did that, like, I mean, not in a bad way. I mean, y'all, come on. You know me by now. You've heard my mouth and my extracurriculars. You know that nothing phases me anymore. But
no one on this podcast was upset.
No, it's just one of those. When the word comes up, you just kind of go, oh, you get taken aback. You're like, oh, that's right. Oh, yes. And it's spelled C-U-M. Yep. Oh, there we go. All right.
There it is.
Boop, there it is. There it is. Would you... So, again, if you're a first-time listener, welcome. But also, you know
Hello.
that we...
I'll break up my phone sex operator.
You know how this jam works is that we do a compliment sandwich, which some books might be a very thin piece of meat inside. Or it could be, if it's a kind of book, we might have,
a Reuben on our hands.
Oh, yeah. Gosh, from Slimans.
Yep.
But it's your top bun and your bottom bun are going to be your the things we liked about it. And then maybe the insides will be something that we didn't so much care for. So, do you want to go first? Or do you want me to go first? Which way?
You go first.
Okay.
Because I was nervous about you reading this book because I already loved this author. It was like Lisa Kleypas with you.
Yeah.
Like you were nervous about me reading Suddenly You.
I think what I'm going to say first is my first pro, because I actually just switched it in my head. My first pro is going to be her prose.
Yes.
There are some things that are that she writes. Again, like the sex scenes are fucking hot, but at the same time, there's some things that are brought up, and the way she describes them, I'm like, this is next level for this type of book. You know what I'm saying? Like,
and also, mind you, this is her second book.
Yeah. I mean, I'm looking up. Okay. Here, this is a little farther. Well, I hope it's not too far. I don't want to spoil anything, so I don't want to make. Where to go? Why are you doing this to me? Why are you doing? There we go. So I'm trying to see what page this is. I'm just going to read because I think you can take whatever you want from it. Sorry, there's going to be a cat screaming in the background. Sorry. Eventually, your limbs get so damn tired you surrender to the pull of gravity. I frown. You let the salty water fill your lungs and you accept your new reality, dying a slow death alone in the middle of the sea, all because you can't do the one thing that's expected. My voice breaks. You can't fucking swim. That is fucking deep, man. That is deep.
Yeah.
Deep. I was very much, that blew me away. And so the first thing I have to say about this is, damn, was this well written.
Yeah, I totally agree. There were so many like quotable, I mean, when I was like writing down page numbers of quotes that I wanted to look at, I mean, I literally just have a huge list here of page numbers that I could read quotes from because there are so many moments that are not only quotable, but like so poignant.
Yes. Yeah.
And are beautiful metaphors for really heartbreaking moments in your life.
And some of the things that you would want to take and like you said and relate to them, or things that are going to to be the lesson you're going to learn are often not even given by the two main characters. Jeremy, her friend Jeremy, has some of the best lines.
Yeah, he does.
I mean, don't be his disease. There's another one that there's this is not Jeremy who says this is actually Becca, but eventually we have to let go of the grudges that stunt our growth and keep us bitter. And I'm like, Jesus, yes, yes.
Like, oh, here's my heart. Can you just like pluck it just little by little? Yeah.
Right. But Jeremy has some, and I don't know if I highlighted those ones, but he has some that I'm like.
There's a couple that I would like to read, but I don't want to because I don't want to give anything away.
Right. And that's why I'm kind of reading these out of context. So.
Right.
But he, you know, the one that I keep thinking of is don't be his disease. And I'm like, oh my gosh. I mean, it's a simple way of saying something, but damn, does it pack an impact? Does it make an impact?
Yeah. He really, so Jeremy is Becca's probably best friend from college, Beck from her college days. And he really, in a few different times in different ways, is her voice of reason. He is the person who is like, I'm going to tell you some shit that you don't want to hear.
Yeah.
And we kind of all need that friend, right? We kind of all need like that person in our lives who's going to be like, you are being a fucking idiot right now, and you need to get your shit together.
Yeah. So that's my pro.
Oh God, you're right. I agree with you. Emily McIntire is an excellent writer. I mean, really.
She is. I mean, and something along that lines is going to be my con.
Yeah,
but it's not a bad. I mean, we talked about it before. It's not a bad con. Emily, if you listen to this, is I'm not. I hope we love you. I'm not trying to break your heart, so I'm not going to do that.
Holy shit,
so,
no.
But it's just a personal preference. But go for it, lady.
All right. So I've said this before. I don't remember which episode it was. I think it was the adulting ARC. Oh, I see a kitty. And by that I mean an actual cat. This is a romance podcast after all.
I do have a quote that has pussy in it, but...
Holla. Is that Weasley?
Whose pussy is this? Yeah, it is Weasley.
Hi, monkey. Oh, so cute. Okay. I said before, I believe on the adulting episode, about how I love a character arc. I love seeing characters go through growth stages and going through experiences and learning from them and making better decisions. And because Emily McIntire writes like angsty shit, these characters are going through real shit. This isn't like I am having my heart broken by a person. Like, this is not as simple as I've had my heart broken by an ex and I am scared to love again. Like, this shit runs much deeper than that.
And you and I had a spate of books where we were reading where I don't know how many in a row it was, where the woman was cheated on by her husband or her boyfriend or whatever, and she walked in on him. I was like, okay, so we never saw the boyfriend or anything like that, so there wasn't really that connection. You didn't feel that gut punch. Unlike this book.
Unlike this book, I mean, you feel the gut punch on multiple occasions, you know, and it's pretty intense in that regard. Of course, the two main characters of this book are Becca and Eli. They both have growth that needs to happen. They both have demons that they need to contend with. They both have things that they need to learn and grow from. They're both pretty young. I mean, she's a senior in college when this all kind of gets started. So she's like 21. She's legally drinking in bars, we would assume. So she's 21. He's probably like 23, 24. I don't really remember. It might say in the first book, like, what the age difference is between Lee and Eli. Because Becca and Lee were in the same class. So that would be like the same age difference or whatever. So we assume like maybe they're 2-3 years apart. So Eli maybe is 23, 24. His like career ending injury happened early in his career. So it's not as if he played for a lot of years or anything like that. And and is now like settling down to coach or anything like that.
Well, and I think the thing with Eli too is he felt abandoned by his family when he did
absolutely.
have the injury, because they were all wrapped up in them, what was happening with them. Mm-hmm. So there was no one there. So not only is he dealing with the death of his mom, but he's dealing with the death of his dream, and
and he feels unsupported in all of that.
And
so
I don't blame him.
Oh, I don't blame him at all. He's completely justified in that. He feels abandoned by his family because he's lost his mother, who was like a shining star in his life, who gave him hope and was the only person that he really felt like in his life gave him unconditional love. And then his career ended, and he had no one, nothing. No one was there to support him. Now, there are reasons for that. It's doesn't make it excusable, but like everybody was dealing with their own shit because their mom died.
Right.
And so Eli has demons that he needs to deal with. He doesn't go home because of lots of reasons. He doesn't really communicate with the family very much. And so a lot's going on that he doesn't really know about. And Becca, I don't know what gives things away. Like if you read the first book, you already know some of these things. But like,
I'm just coming from somebody who has not read the first book.
Yeah.
So I would say, her home life is not great. You learn that right off the bat. Is that her father's a preacher and her mom's a preacher's wife, and there's no. They expect things of her, and kind of expect to control her. That's kind of and they want her home when she graduates. They want her back in Tennessee, and she says, "Oh, hell to the no, I'm not coming back." And so they want to cut her off completely, money wise. So that's why she actually has to get the job. Yeah. So they treat her like crap.
They really do. I mean, Ray and I texted each other multiple times during the reading of this book. Like, I fucking hate her family. Yeah.
I mean, kicking people in certain areas was definitely used a number of times.
Yep.
Yeah. Yep. I said I hope that she died alone in a ditch.
Yeah, you did at one point.
Yeah.
They're not good people.
I don't.
Like, they are terrible people.
Guess what? We're better friends for it. I don't care that I said it. It's fine.
I don't care.
It's also fictional characters, so
fictional
characters.
So whatever.
Yeah.
But I will say about McIntire's writing, like, these people feel real to me.
Oh God, yes. I mean, I've known people like this.
Absolutely.
I grew
up with people like this.
You grew up in a small town. These are the assholes that you are around.
Yep. Absolutely. So I don't want to give too many things away. I don't want to give anything away, because if you haven't read the book and you want to read it, I'm not going to give away their character arcs or how they grow or what the impetus is to make them grow. But both of them have work to do on themselves.
Yep.
And I loved watching them do it. Because to me, that's the most fun that I see in books, is people learning lessons, becoming better people, and then having happy relationships. Whether that happy relationship is with themselves or with another person, or with other people, yes, but like with a romantic partner or with friendships. Like, I think much like the only part of Sex and the City that was really worthwhile is the very end, the very last quote of Sex and the City, the show, is Carrie walking down the street, and she says, the very best or the most meaningful, important relationship you will ever have is the one you have with yourself. And if you can find someone to love the you love, well, that's just fabulous. And that's kind of like the rule I live my life by, and therefore is something that I really love about every novel that I love. That's a thing that I've related to is a good character arc. Well, and I feel like that it delivers in this book.
Well, and I think now that we're sitting here talking about it, think about the books that we had the one that pops in my head right away is The Duke and I, because we talked about what if at the end, instead of raping her husband, she had
spoiler alert.
Well, that's right. We hope that you've listened to that episode
or watched Bridgerton.
But you know what? Fuck it. Fuck that book. Anyhow, fuck it in the face. Anyhow, but like you said in the episode, if she had gone the mile and done some work for herself, convinced him to love her, or in adulting where, and it's the same thing, I have the same feelings for Becca that I had for Chase.
Oh, sure. Yeah. I get that.
I did not like Becca at first, and possibly because I knew girls like her in college, and I was like, okay. But like you said, I loved her journey. Yeah. I love seeing, by the end of the book, I loved her.
Yeah.
And so, and it's the same with adulting. I fucking hated Chase at the beginning. I think something about punching somebody somewhere came out of my mouth at some point.
Probably.
But I loved her by the end, and I just rooted for her. And it's the same thing with Becca. So, no, I agree 100%. Yeah. You've got to be invested in the journey.
Mm-hmm. And I was super invested in the journey.
Yeah.
Super.
Yeah. Because you can see what happens when you don't have that journey, such as raping your husband. Anyhow.
Yeah, when you have like no self-awareness whatsoever.
Right, you don't know where babies come from.
Unable to look within.
And don't feel bad about your actions. What?
Yeah.
Okay.
What? Do you want to talk to me about your Lenten sandwich?
It's my big piece of cod that's in there.
Yes. Today is Good Friday, just to provide some context.
It's the best Friday, I guess. It's the goodest Friday.
I guess.
So, all right, Emily, I'm gonna preface this because I don't think V, you don't have any cons, right?
I mean, I have like one thing that I wish could have happened.
Okay, so I'm gonna preface this by saying, Emily, if you're listening, I love you. So, and this is actually not even about you or the book. This is about me. This isn't you, it's me. So I will be the first one to say, I fucking hate angsty shit. I don't watch melodramas. I don't watch soap operas. I don't read. If it is going to take me to the 7th level of hell and back, nope.
We can blame me for this being on the list.
No, I mean, but, so going a little forward that, this, something like that would be so melodramatic. Like, I mean, The Kite Runner is one of my fucking favorite books. But guess what that was relegated to? Audiobook. Anyhow, I have read it, like an actual book after that.
I actually have not read it.
It's very good. Anyhow, so this isn't my cup of tea usually. I will say I loved it by the end. I very much did. But I think it just depends on what your comfort zone or comfort, what's in your comfort zone.
Your comfort level, yeah.
Yeah. And so because the writing was so good, I could, but at one point I'm like, for fuck's sake. Like,
it's really angsty.
It was very angsty.
It's super angsty.
The more frivolous shit could be packed in a book, I'm for. But you won me over, dude, because I liked it a lot. So, boom.
It's so good.
What did I call it? Car wreckage? I can every so often I can look at the car wreckage, but I don't want to look at it all the time.
Yeah. I mean, I get that. I totally get that. If you're looking for like a good escape,
right,
this hits close to home on many fronts for a lot of people.
Yep.
It's not like people just, like I said, dealing with like a bad breakup. This goes a lot fucking deeper than that.
Yeah. I mean, it's like watching Intervention like 24/7.
Yeah, it's heavy. Yeah. It's heavy.
I mean, for some, they might have to be in the mood for it.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's fine.
However, again, I came out enjoying it. Like the only other little piece that I'm going to say is I wish the epilogue there had been more of an epilogue. That was like, we could see more of what was happening with them now. Yeah.
It helped lead into the third book, which will be released on the same day that this episode is released, which is April 6th.
Yeah.
But yeah, I understand that. Yeah. I get that.
So, girl, we're still friends.
We still love you.
We still love you.
My only thing, I wished that there was more, kind of like the same thing that you're saying. Like, I wish I could have seen more about them trying to make things work together as a couple.
Agreed.
Yeah, like, that's different than how the first book was, in that Chase and Lee get together, like, not that long. I mean,
we see
earlier, like, you see more of them trying to make it work as a couple.
And we see more of them as a couple in this book.
Yeah, you do.
Than we do of Becca
and
Eli.
Yeah, you do. I mean, like, post, I don't know how to describe it. Like,
yeah, we don't want to give anything away. So
yeah.
Yeah.
But
post the big breakup.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the come together. And that's C-U-M.
Right. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's C-U-M together.
Right.
Whew. Anyhow.
So, wow. So hot. But that's really the only thing I've got for the cons, man. Like, I really, really enjoyed this book. I loved it. I feel like it's the kind of book that I'll go back and, like, reread parts of. I actually wished that I could have, I finished it last night. I wished I could have had, like, more time to digest it before we recorded. But I mean, that's my only con. I just wish I would have had more time. Like, seeing them trying to make things work.
Because you don't get it at the beginning. And you that much, like, as an actual couple, like, doing coupley things, you get a little bit, but there's very little at the end.
Because when they're together at school, she's a student and he is, like, a coach.
So they can't. Really
so they're not
open.
Right. They're not public. The whole thing is secret. Like, it eventually one person knows what's going on. That's it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, and there's a whole nother layer to why that's a problem, like, that you learn in the book. I don't want to give that away.
Yeah, there's a lot that happens that we're trying to, like, tiptoe around, because I want it to be a surprise.
Yeah, there's a lot going on in that book.
And
a
surprise,
lot
I mean,
happens.
punch in the gut.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Car wreck.
Yeah.
That we're watching.
Like, we'll probably make you cry.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Thanks again, Emily.
Yeah. Thanks again. Tell me your bottom bun. What's your bottom bun, girl?
Well, I don't want to steal your bottom bun, because now that I think, well, actually, you stole my top bun. So
sorry.
I'm teasing.
Give me your buns.
Fucking Eli, what? Jesus.
Oh, good God.
Good God, man. We could share this if you want. If he was your bottom bun, I don't know.
He really is not my bottom bun.
Okay,
however,
well,
I have lots of quotes from Eli.
I'm going to let you take. I'm going to let you. Well, I do have one that's whose pussy is this? Mm-hmm. What? Also,
Jesus. No, you do your bottom bun first. Please do it.
So, the first text to Veronica once I started the book was, "I fucking love Eli." Mm-hmm. And that didn't stop to the end of the book.
Nope.
I love dirty talk. I love it. I love guys' dirty talk. I don't so much care about girls, because a lot of times it goes daddy shit. I'm like, you just keep that. Nope.
Gross. You keep that to yourself.
You keep that to yourself. But with guys,
God damn.
I love the domination shit. So, man, there was a lot of that in here, and he was all about choking her out. I was okay with that.
He was. Not to the point of, like, passing out. But
no. But there's a couple times where she said, like, she couldn't breathe.
Right.
All right, I'm okay with that. I'm available. I am fucking available. Literally available because I'm single. What?
I can't breathe. I literally can't.
Oh, God. I'm not joking you. I'm on the other side of the world.
I know.
That's what I'm going to say again when Captain America's sitting on my face. I can't breathe. But what a beautiful death.
What a lovely death this is. The sweet
caress of death. Take me to death's arms and let me linger there.
This is what Take Me to Church is about.
Oh, fuck, I love Hosier.
That fucking song is amazing.
Oh my God. From Eden is my favorite song of his. Anyhow.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's pretty much Good Omens. Anyhow. Yeah, Eli. Besides the fact his fucking name is Elliot, and I fucking love the name Elliot, but they call him Eli. Ugh. But he's so sweet. He's so sweet.
He's like secret sweet.
He's secret sweet. Like, even when his wingman, Connor, is trying to get him to, like, go out and, like, pretty much grab some puss, as I think was said in there, I was like, maybe not. Maybe I'm just blending things together.
Paraphrasing kind of accurately.
Because pussy said a lot in there.
Which is,
fine.
Completely
fine with it. He's like, yeah, I mean, even when he sets him up with that chick who's supposed to be like a one night stand,
right? He
just takes her number, which I was like, that's pretty, chivalrous, dude. So, Eli, and you can now go on to your quotes because I just
oh my god, there are so many fucking quotes. Here's the thing about Eli, like, Eli is sort of alpha-ish, like he's
oh yeah,
but deep down Eli is super sweet. Like,
he's a little boy inside.
Yeah, which actually kind of makes sense.
Especially with the conversation he has, like the flashback he has about with his mom and grandma.
Fuck, I know.
Dying.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Just goddamn. But he is extremely sentimental and sensitive, but he doesn't show that. But like the things that his inner monologue and even some of the shit that he says to Becca is like, I mean, at one point, one of my notes, I highlighted a thing that he wrote and I just wrote, fuck Eli. Like, he's just the fucking sweetest. So I don't want to give too many things away. There are some hot things that I highlighted. But one of my very favorites is, the beat of my lonely heart strengthens, battering against my chest, urging me to lay it at her feet, hoping she picks it up and keeps it forever. God damn it, Eli. God damn it. Let me find the next one. Oh, so, I don't know if I can read this. I wrote my note on it, so it literally just says swoon.
So it's so out of context, maybe it'll be fine.
Maybe. He says, baby girl, if you stay with me for the holidays, I'll get you the world.
Yeah, it's out of context, that's fine.
It's close enough. The thing about Becca is that Becca knew his mom because they grew up together. But he doesn't talk about his mom. Like, this is a huge, like, chasm in his soul. Right. So, it's not a thing that he talks about, but at one point he talks about it with her because she talks about her with him. So he kind of like, that in and of itself, the fact that he'll talk about his mother with her is a big deal. And gives you a clue as to how he feels about her. Which is heartbreaking. Listening to him talk about his mom is fucking heartbreaking.
Oh, absolutely.
But the way that Becca reacts to him talking about his mother is beautiful. And I don't want to say any more than that. But it's what he needs.
Yeah.
And he says, I bask in her glow. She blinds me to the sun.
That phrase that she's his son and she's brighter than the sun comes out a number of times.
It does. It really does. And it's beautiful every time.
Yeah, I mean, you can definitely tell, like, she lights his world. I mean, that's all of us want, is that one person that we are the center of their universe.
Right. Whether that's healthy or not is a different story, but
well,
That's what we want.
Can we just put a little asterisk and say, for the good reasons?
For the good reasons, not for like the codependent, terrible reasons.
Or I'm sitting in your dumpster outside your house.
Right. Not for the potentially stalker reasons, but like...
I'm not going to go shoot Reagan because of you, yeah.
Oh, man. Dark.
Yeah, sorry, I brought up Hinkley.
Super dark. So, another one... this is actually from one of Becca's chapters. Eli says, "Never be afraid to tell me how you feel, Becca." He kisses the top of my head. "I will always be here to catch you in the end." My chest swells with warmth, and I smile up at him. His eyes are deep and crystal blue, begging my heart to surrender, and I almost do. But a flash of strawberry blonde in his arms and the whisper of Mama's words make me pause. All men are liars. Reality crashes through my body, and my soul free-falling to the floor. It's a long drop, reminding me of how bad things can break when they land. Love is a fairy tale, and fairy tales don't exist.
I know whose hair that was. Fuck that girl in the face.
No, fuck that girl. We didn't even include her in our stunt casting. Fuck her.
No, because she's going to be in that dumpster I was talking to you about. I'm a grown woman. It's fine. Don't worry about it. These are fictional characters. Grown-ass woman. Grown-ass bitch.
Oh, God. I mean, I have so many quotes fucking highlighted here. But the last thing I'll say about Eli and his fucking awesomeness is another reference to the sun. He says, "Except Becca isn't another woman. She's the goddamn sun."
Oh, ruin me for all men.
Ruin me, Emily McIntire. Just like scrape me across the coals.
Yep. I used the term about somebody else, another character this week. I was like, hey, I'll be back when I'm not ruined for other men. So I guess I'm gone forever. See you later.
So, see you later. Guess Peace I'm never coming back.
Yep.
Okay, so my bottom bun
is
relatable characters going through relatable shit. But also, because I read the first one and I know enough about, I think, what will happen in the third one, or at least like context clues from the first two. And then also she's writing a fourth one, which I'm so fucking excited about because I didn't know that was going to happen. But she posted something on TikTok about it and I was like, yes. So I think my theory is that Chase is actually going to be like the glue that holds all four of those books together. I could be wrong because I'm not in Emily McIntyre's brain, but I love at one point today, Ray texted me. I was like, I love Chase. And she was like, yeah, duh. Like, noted. You love Chase. I get it. But like, I love Chase, you guys. I wrote, shut up, LOL.
Oh, because I wrote, I got it.
I got it. And I was like, shut up. I love Chase. And I think that you see it in this book, but his character growth happens in the first book. And so you see that, and then you see how he impacts these characters going through the second book. And then in the epilogue, you get a hint of how he will play a part in the third book. And he will definitely play a part in the fourth book.
Because even at the end of this book, weren't they talking about, like, he and Jax were actually talking?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. Because in the first book, you see more of this, but like, and it's mentioned in the second book, but Jax and Chase were friends, like, back when they were growing up. And then some shit happens, and then they don't talk for a while. But then you hear in the epilogue that, like, Jax and Chase are talking again. So I wonder if, like, Chase will be, like, the thread that kind of keeps everyone together.
Oh, actually, it would be kind of nice because it's usually a woman character.
Yeah,
it's usually
right.
a female character. So it'd actually be nice if it was a male character.
So it's an emotionally intelligent male character.
So wink, wink. No, Emily, wink, wink. It'd be really awesome if it was a male character. Wink, wink. Just saying.
We're not trying to, like, influence you by any means, but, like, that's just
put your arm behind your back and squeeze it. I'm not trying to do that at all.
It's just my prediction, having read the first half of the series and eagerly awaiting
I'm just doing it because I know that's what V wants me to say to you. And I'm the enforcer of the two. I'm the heavy.
Oh God, it's just there's so much angst there. It can be a really tough read. Yeah. I will say the other thing that I really loved, we've already mentioned therapy here, but that's a common topic in her work, and I think that it's super important because I think that it's important to show people, like, break that stigma, show people that it's okay to seek therapy, that if you need help, that's totally fine, and most people should, in my opinion. But she says something in this book that my therapist word for word has said to me. And she said, thoughts become things. And when my therapist said that to me, I was like, shit. She goes, thoughts become things.
Manifestation of your feelings.
But also, she said, thoughts become things. Feelings don't just come out of nowhere.
Yeah.
So the more you think a thing, the more you attach feelings to it, and then it becomes a thing in your life.
Yeah.
So if you don't, in that context, what she was saying to me is like, if you keep thinking about that, you're going to develop feelings about it, which will then progress to something bigger in your life. Like, have caution with that, that like you can either manifest these good things in your life, or you can focus on these positive things, or you can focus on these negative things. And that will help drive the way that your brain goes, and in some ways the way that your life goes.
Yeah. Oh, isn't that, I'm so sorry, I keep coughing. Excuse me. Isn't it that saying of like giving, words have meaning, but it also depends on like how much meaning you attach to a certain object, like how you feel towards it, and how you the manifestation of these feelings towards an object is how much importance you're giving it to in your life. Mm-hmm. So, no, I agree completely, and I'm very happy that we're in a place that we are now where I'm so sorry. Growing up in the 90s, that was like the boom of. It was no longer so much a stigma of mental health. I mean, it was the joke. It was Viagra and mental health and I'm trying to think what else, like Ritalin. Those are the three big things that everyone made. And poor Monica Lewinsky. Those are the four things that everyone talked about in the 90s.
She's the greatest, though.
She is fantastic, and just
follow her on Twitter. She's
Jay
amazing.
Leno can go fuck himself from every way till Tuesday. Ugh. Anyhow, but. It's now become such much of a norm. Like, it's not even if you say, "Well, I'm going to see my therapist today." Like, if you were to see if I were to go to work and be like, well, "I got to go early because I got to go to a therapist appointment," no one would bat an eyelash. They'd be like, "Oh."
And if they do, fuck them.
Well, if they do, then they probably need to speak to a therapist themselves.
Yes, definitely. I mean, therapy is like, it's such a great thing. It's been a wonderful influence in my life. And I love that it's a theme in this series. I mean, I assume it will continue to be. I don't really know. I mean, obviously, I haven't read the last half of the series, but like, it's a theme through the first book too.
Well, and I think, I'm so sorry. I think the thing that kind of, because we've said these people all need therapy, and taking the stigma off of it, and them showing that they are becoming better people through it is definitely, and anymore it's like, look at all of these people are going to therapy, and it's completely fine, and it's whatever all real people should be doing.
Right. It doesn't make them weak. To me, that makes you strong for like facing shit that maybe you don't want to face, or that is really difficult. I have a friend who started seeing a therapist a couple months ago and is like, this shit is hard. This shit is difficult. This is not enjoyable. And I was like, girl, I get that. I mean, I completely understand that. This shit sucks sometimes. It still does. It still does.
Sometimes it's just nice to have someone to talk to you. like talk to about day-to-day shit. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. It's somebody who just sits there and listens and then just says, it's fine. Everything that you're thinking is fine.
Yeah. Or can like point out they're a third party person who is like not invested.
Unbiased, yep.
Yeah. Like they don't have, their job is literally to sit there and say to you, like, do you see this pattern emerging?
Right.
And oftentimes for me, no, I don't see that pattern emerging, but you see it because you're not in my head. You're removed from that.
Yep.
And I think to me, that's really important. You need like Jeremy as Rebecca, you know, like this person who's like going to tell you things, or in many cases, help you figure out coping strategies or methods of learning how to deal with stressful situations in your life that are never going to go away.
Right. You got to,
or that you're sure you'll encounter again.
I have a request for Emily, actually. Speaking of Jeremy, can I have an MM book about Jeremy, please?
I actually wondered if she would write a book about Jeremy.
Please. I mean, again, I'm not twisting your arm behind your back and squeezing it really hard, but I would really like it because I really liked his character. But please don't make it as angsty. Please don't.
Oh, you know it's going to be angsty as fuck.
Ah! I did like Jeremy a lot, too.
Yeah, Jeremy was great.
Speaking of characters, do you want to do... Well, yeah. Do you want to do some stuff? Kind of remember how this... Not like we don't do it every fucking 2 weeks, but how does this podcast work? Jeez.
Yeah. Should we take a brief break?
Do we want
and then do our stunt casting?
Sure. I can go cough for about an hour, though.
Okay, that sounds good. Maybe... Okay, that's fine.
Cool.
All right.
Bye.
We'll be back. And we're back.
We're back! Yay! I went and coughed a whole bunch.
My... gotta practice my phone sex operator voice for my retirement plan.
There you go. And I went and coughed a whole bunch.
Good for you.
It's fine.
Hack up that lung.
I do this for you guys. I took a sinus pill so you didn't have to hear me snorting through the whole thing. Like the person behind you in the movie theater that you want to light them. Well, when we went to the movie theater.
Oh, God. Do you remember movie theaters? How we used to like go to them in public?
Yes. Because I'd go and eat and drink. Okay. Really quick sidebar. So I used to work a lot and travel. And so I kind of, and by myself, obviously. And so I got used to not feeling weird about going to dinner by myself because you kind of do it. And if you're single, also, you want to get out and do something. I worked with somebody who was like, it just feels weird. I'm like, well, you need to get over it because otherwise you're going to be sitting in your hotel room. So I used to go to the movies a lot by myself because then also you don't have the person sitting next to you that you fucking talk through the whole thing. And I'm like, listen, Captain America is talking about something very fucking important right now, and I need to fucking hear him, okay? Okay?
America's ass is talking.
Right? And most of the time, I would probably have brought a drink in with me to the movie, so I'm not going to share that with somebody else. What?
That's what you and I do.
Oh, fuck yeah. Fuck yeah. I mean,
on my 30th birthday, I literally brought champagne into the theater.
Oh. I don't think... Were we there? Was I there for that?
You were definitely there for dinner. I don't know if you were there
I wasn't there for the movie. No, I was not there for the movie. I was there for dinner.
I wore a princess dress.
Because you went to see Cinderella, didn't you?
I sure fucking did.
No, I did not see Cinderella, so.
It was good.
I'm sure it was, but I was there for dinner.
Yeah, you were. I remember.
Yep. So,
Anywho.
Yep. Anywho. All right, so let's do
stunt casting.
Stunt casting. So if you guys don't know, if you're a new listener, again, welcome. So stunt casting is where we cast different parts from the book with like celebrities, actors, influencers. Kidding. But I'll go first. How about that?
Yeah, please do.
And of course, I have to open it because why would I have it open? What?
Why would we be prepared?
No, because I was for like a second, and then I was like, "This isn't me. What are you talking about?"
So fucking excited for stunt casting right now.
Okay, so okay. Which one do you want first?
Just give them all to me.
Give them all. Just shove them in. All right, so my Becca, I chose Sophie Turner. And yes,
she's so pretty.
A lot of people are like, but she's blonde. But she's really a redhead, guys.
The picture you have on your Pinterest, she's a redhead.
She's a redhead, and she was redhead through Game of Thrones, but she's, I believe, naturally a redhead. And again, she's...
What's her name? Sophie Turner?
Sophie Turner. Mm-hmm. I mean, that hair looks pretty natural as a redhead. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you can tell, like, natural redhead versus dyed redhead.
Right. But it's really funny. We were talking about it as we were reading. I said, swear to God, next book, we can't have another fucking redhead heroine.
Yeah, we've had a lot of redheaded heroines.
And everyone's like, auburn colored hair. I'm like, no. Natural redheads. It's not auburn.
It's strawberry.
It's strawberry or that like really gingery red. Mm-hmm. So no. And then my Mr. Eli is Justin Hartley. Do you know who this gentleman is?
He is easy on the ojos.
He is.
Why does he look familiar?
He's on This Is Us. I think he plays the gay brother.
That's who it is. Yeah. Wait, is he gay?
I think his characters. Is he gay in the show?
I don't know. I've never seen the show.
I haven't either. Hence the reason I don't watch Angst. I mean,
right. I have been told that show will just make you cry, and I literally to that responded, then why would I fucking watch the show?
Right.
I already watch Grey's Anatomy. Why would I do this to myself multiple times a week?
Okay, the only angsty shit that I've ever watched in my life, Supernatural. Because, Sam and or Dean dies about 42 times or goes to hell about 42 times in each season.
What's the guy's name who plays Dean?
Oh, Jensen Ackles.
Dude, why is he so hot?
Good genes. He's
from Texas. The podcast has somehow landed on like Supernatural TikTok.
We're fine with it.
I'm fine with it. I mean, like Jensen Ackles pops up like both all the time.
They're both. I mean, Jared Padalecki's not as hot, but I mean, we're talking about apples and apples. Come on. I mean, he's still fucking hot, right? I mean, and you couldn't find two guys who are like they're best friends in real life too. I mean,
God,
you
had to have to be shit too.
You've been with somebody 15 years doing a show.
That show was on a long time, didn't it? Like just end.
It just ended. And again, like I said, I went to go rewatch or like to start where I had stopped. I don't know how many years ago. I was on fucking season 10, and I'm like, I don't know what's happening. I got to go back like 3 or 4 seasons.
Like a solid 5 to 7 seasons.
Yeah, I mean that's as angsty as I get. So
this was angsty.
This was angsty. So This Is Us is not my cup of tea. But
yeah, I don't want to watch This Is Us. No,
but I'm almost positive the one brother is gay, and he plays. I'm pretty sure. I think he plays the gay brother. There's so. I really encourage you guys to find our Pinterest because we do put pictures up of all of the different stunt casting, and this suit this gentleman is wearing is fucking on point. It is like plaid and gorgeous. I love it.
It is beautiful.
And
the suit is amazing.
And unfortunately, he's like 44. But I also included a picture when he was young, because guess what? Every guy that was like, oh yeah, perfect. He was like in his 40s. So
yeah,
it's
exactly.
Because I don't watch the Disney Channel.
Problem.
I don't know what the fuck these kids are today. What are kids? So there's
Who are children.
There's my stunt casting. I don't know why I ended up angry, but there it is.
I understand. I really do.
Because I'm old.
So that's your stunt casting?
That's my stunt casting.
We are old. All right, let me
This
pull
is
up my
us.
board.
We are old.
We are old.
This is us.
It's accurate.
Yeah.
Okay, so because I read the first book, I also did Chase and Lee. Mm-hmm. All right, so my Becca, though, I'll start where you did. So my Becca is Catherine McNamara, who has also been blonde, but is a natural redhead. And the photos that I chose for the Pinterest board show her as a redhead. She's gorgeous.
She's very pretty. What has she been?
Are you on my Pinterest board?
Yeah.
She has been in Shadowhunters and Supergirl and The Flash and Arrow. Like, she's been in a lot of stuff. I've just actually never seen anything with her in it.
Is she play Felicity Smoke on Arrow?
Mia Smoke. It says right here. Arrow.
Oh, that's the daughter. That's the daughter, I think.
Mia Smoke, Green Arrow, Maya. That's what it says.
Okay, so that must be Arrow and Felicity's child.
Sure. I don't know. I've never seen it.
Like,
she
4
also plays
episodes of
Mia
Arrow.
Smoke in The Flash and Batwoman and Supergirl.
So she plays... Okay, so I think that's Arrow... Oh, God. Again, guys, don't come at me, okay? If I'm wrong on this one. I don't like DC. I'm a Marvel girl. I'm pretty sure that's Arrow, which like Oliver Quinn, and Felicity Smoke's daughter, I think. I think that's who that is. Anyhow, I'm going to look it up. Keep going.
That's fine. So that's who I chose for Becca. She's gorgeous.
She's very pretty.
So my Eli, like you said, if you Google like blonde hair, blue-eyed actors, you're going to get like a solid 40 men over the age of 40. And I was like, okay, Matthew McConaughey.
Yeah, right? Who no one wants on their list anymore. What happened to him?
He's still hot. I don't know what's wrong with you.
Well,
but like...
Because he turned out to be a nutbag. Well, I mean, he is.
Is he a nutbag? I don't know.
He wrote that autobiography that came out recently.
Oh, I haven't.
Yes.
I did hear that he came out with something. I've seen the cover. At any rate, the list of like, quote, blonde hair, blue-eyed actors is just like Brad Pitt. It's like tons of men over the age of 40.
Yeah.
Which, fine. It doesn't make them unattractive.
I mean,
it's just that that's not how old Eli is.
Right.
Eli is in his early 20s and then his late 20s. So, like, that doesn't fucking work.
Right.
So, then I fucking remembered. All right. So, on the E! Network for a while, there was a show called The Royals.
Oh, okay.
And I fucking love that show. It is a goddamn soap opera. It's totally ridiculous. It was canceled because, or it was never renewed for a 5th season because the producer turned out to be a dickhead who was sexually harassing the women on set.
Oh, good.
Yeah, lovely fucking asshole. Ruined that because there was a huge cliffhanger at the end of season 4. You fucking ruined everything, you asshole. Anyway, my biggest irritation about that is that they took Jasper away from me.
Is this gentleman played Jasper then?
Uh-huh.
He's good. Good looking.
Uh-huh. So his name is Tom Austin, and he is actually English. He's hot as hell.
Yeah, he is. He is.
He's hot as hell.
Yeah, he is. That's all I can say is, yeah, he is. Yeah.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Like, the scruff is what gets me. The scruff does it for me.
It's the scruff for me.
Yeah.
It's really just everything for me. If you saw my husband, you would probably know I'm into the blonde hair, blue-eyed boys. Like, I just am. I don't have an explanation for that. Regardless, Tom Austin, hot as shit. He played Jasper on The Royals. I think it's all on Amazon Prime at this point if you're interested in watching that show. It's about like a fictional royal family who's super fucked up. But that's kind of what makes the show good, if we're just being honest there. Anyway, that's my Eli. I would climb him like a tree.
I mean, he looks tall too, so there you go.
He is tall.
Yeah.
Just
Damn.
Jesus.
Yep.
You get to see him shirtless.
Sometimes
on many occasions.
They grow. Whoa, what? That's not okay. What the fuck? Okay, anyhow, sorry.
Are you just looking at more pictures of Tom Austin?
No. This came up. I'm going to put it in the chat. That came up on Pinterest. I'm not going to say anything. Just keep going. I'll put it in the chat, and you can look it up, and then you can tell me what you think.
Okay. All right. So I'll just briefly go through my. Should I just open this now?
You might as well.
Oh Jesus! I'm so scared / excited. Oh,
right. Thank you.
Jesus.
It was like...
We don't actually know who that is?
No. It says suck it on it. So that's awesome.
It does say suck it on it.
It's just a picture of, I don't even know, a banana hammock on a dick. And I looked over because like, you like this, so you must like this. I'm like, do you...
Holy shit.
I'm like, I don't understand. What is happening? Oh my God, it's the 5G in my body from the vaccine.
Oh my God.
Bill Gates.
That's what it is.
Bill Gates put dicks in my computer. I don't have a Mac. I have a Mac.
So Steve Jobs put them in your computer.
He did. He did before he died.
From the grave.
He went, and then he just blew dicks into my computer.
It's like a blow dart.
It's a blowcock.
That's how I picture it.
It's a blowcock.
Oh, man.
All right.
Okay.
So tell me about these other people on your list here.
Ooh, okay. So I did 2 other characters. I did Chase and Lee because I read the first book. And so like I had them in my head already. Initially I was like, man, I, as I have already stated, love Chase. And so I was like, Tom Austin as Chase would like just kill me. However, Chase, I went and looked at the descriptions in the first book, and Chase has hazel eyes and darker hair. So I went with Zac Efron for Chase.
Right.
Again, would climb him like a tree, although he is shorter. It's still fine. It doesn't matter.
10 out of 10 would spank. Would spank.
Also, his Netflix show, excellent.
What Netflix show?
He has a Netflix show. Zac Efron does. Did you not know this?
No.
Zac Efron has a Netflix show where he travels around the world and looks at how other countries are tackling problems.
Oh.
Like,
Does he do it shirtless?
Like, I think he's shirtless at some point.
All right.
I've only seen the first episode, but it's very good. And he goes to Iceland. I think it's Iceland. Or no, shit. I forget. He goes elsewhere and talks about climate change.
Nice.
10 out of 10 recommend. Excellent show.
10 out of 10 would spank. To that
also
show.
Also accurate.
To that show.
Such a good show. And then maybe you'll know how to pronounce her name, but I fucking can't. Who I cast as Lee.
Saoirse Ronan, I think it is.
Yes. To me, she looked close enough to Tom Austin that it could be like Saoirse Ronan. As a blonde. Now, of course, she has dyed her hair many times, but Eli and Lee have like it's described as honey blonde hair. And Lee's hair is longer.
Mm-hmm. I love her so much. It's not even funny.
Yeah.
Like,
she's fantastic.
Little Women. I mean,
yeah, absolutely.
Little Women.
Yep.
I mean, this woman is
the last movie I saw in a theater.
This woman's all of what, 24? How the fuck old is this woman?
She's young.
And she's been nominated or been in Academy Award nominated movies for years now. I mean, she was Lady Bird, which I didn't care for, but I was not the target audience for Lady Bird. I watched that with the target audience, and she was like, "That's awful." I'm like, "Thank you, I felt that too." But I liked Little Women, and it's still Greta Gerwig, and but Brooklyn is, if you've not seen Brooklyn, what are you doing? Fucking go out and get it now and watch it. Oh, it's so good. It's so good.
I think we can just assume that if you bring up a movie, I haven't seen it.
I mean, so she comes from Ireland, and she leaves.
She was in the video for Ed Sheeran's Galway Girl. You know that?
No, but
okay, I'll tell you later more about that and the prank that she played on him.
Okay, I'll take it. I mean, I love Ed Sheeran too. He's cute. I mean, I don't like him like that. I mean, I think he's adorable, but
he's super cute.
He's super cute. But so she's
Brooklyn.
Fucking amazing. Yeah, I mean, it's heartbreaking. It's absolutely fucking heartbreaking. And the whole sister thing, because there's a whole sister thing in it, and when you don't talk to your sister, it's worse.
Heartbreaking.
Yeah, it's heartbreaking, but it's very good. Anywho,
I'll be your sister. I have no fucking siblings.
No, you are my sister. It's the greatest Friday. It's the goodest Friday.
Jesus.
Okay. But I love her. I think that's fantastic. I don't know the character. I mean, I do know the character, but I don't know.
Honey blonde hair.
Perfect.
I think blue eyes. I'm pretty sure because Eli has blue eyes. I'd have to go back and look at the description in the first book. But yeah.
And she's British, so she can automatically do a Southern accent.
Isn't she Irish?
She's Irish, but, same thing.
But sure. Yeah.
Yeah. They can do it and Southern. Because it's so close. Irish, or sorry, English in the South, the dialects are very similar.
Yeah, well, and so Tom Austin, also English, so.
Yeah. There you go. I love it.
Tom Austin.
I fucking love it.
Woo. All right, do you want to move on to Eggplants and Hearts?
Yes, let's please do that.
Tell me, what you got for eggplants?
5. I mean, let's say 4.5. 4.5 because it wasn't erotica. But
right,
let's just say, fuck me. At one point, I just texted you, and just said, this is filthy. Like, again, not hating on it, but just took me aback a little bit. I mean,
it's extraordinarily hot.
Yes, there are 2 references to cum leaking out of someone. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And there are. Okay, so I am not gonna. Well, okay. So I said to you at one point, I texted after one of the the sex scenes. I go, because he manhandles her quite a bit. He says some things that would be demeaning, could be misconstrued as demeaning.
Mm-hmm. Sure. Yeah.
And I said, what was this sort of dialogue not sexy in some of the other books we have read? Because we've read some where I'm like, fuck me. No, not fuck me in a good way. Fuck off. No.
Get me out of here.
Right. And this was like, no, fuck me. Like, literally fuck me now.
Super hot.
Yeah. I don't know what it was, but there was something about it. The dialogue was so good, and just the whole setup of the scenes. 4.5. That's what I'm giving. Because it wasn't erotica. Like, it wasn't...
Right. It's not... I mean, part of it's gratuitous, I guess. But, like, I was, like, 4. Like, hard 4. Mm-hmm.
Hardcore 4.
Only holding back from a 5 because I didn't count it as erotica. So 4.5, I think, is totally fair.
I think we've only given one book a 5 so far.
Yeah, I think we've only done that once.
Hearts.
I said a 4 because of Eli.
I'm going to go 3.
I think that's fair.
Because I wanted more.
Again, fair. Yeah. I think, to me, it was like reading Eli's inner thoughts. Like, what he felt about Becca was so fucking romantic and wonderful and beautiful. Yeah. And Becca was just like not... She wasn't there. No. She just wasn't able.
That wasn't where she was at mentally.
Right. It wasn't that she didn't feel it. It was that she just like couldn't allow herself to feel it.
And I will say again, Emily, thank you for including the male perspective and the male narrative, because otherwise,
God, I love dual perspective.
One, I don't think it would have been as enjoyable, because and I'm going to give you another compliment here, is you write very well. You write a man very well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree with that.
So I'm just hoping you're listening.
I hope so too. Or we're just talking screaming into the void.
I mean, I do that all the time. I do that every fucking 2 weeks. So
same.
So yeah. Well, I guess the last part of it is, would you recommend this book?
Oh my fucking God, yes. I would recommend it. I would also recommend you read in order. Read the first book first. Read the second one. They are different enough, but follow similar themes. I love the Chase and Lee story. Mm-hmm. Also full of fucking angst. Like, just full of angst. However, again, with the character arc and the character growth, sometimes you meet someone at the wrong time.
Oh, 100%.
And that's a theme in both of those books. But sometimes you need to grow in order to be able... It's one of the things I loved so much about the first book that also happens in the second book, but I think it's like more obvious in the first book, is that the characters are presented with similar circumstances that drove them apart in the beginning, and that they are then having to decide, am I going to let this happen again? Yeah. Or am I going to be more mature about this situation? Am I going to stop for a second and have a conversation, or am I going to run?
Yeah. And there's something we got into via text, but we can't really get into because I don't want to ruin anything. But
yeah.
I did say something where things that could have been settled by a conversation.
Sure.
But that, again, happens in real life too, though.
Happens in real life too. And also, like, between a 21-year-old and a 23 or 24-year-old, like, you're so fucking young. I mean,
naive.
It's not even like the kind of thing that, think about yourself at that age and think about yourself now.
Not much has changed for me. I have more tattoos.
That is absurd, first of all. And second, like, I'm not, I mean, I don't know. I guess
I know how to code now.
You're gonna go, no. Oh my God. You were such a fucking liar. But like, no 20. If you have done any kind of self-growth, any 21-year-old is not the same as they are when they're in their even late 20s or early 30s or late 30s. It's just not the same.
No. Well, look at even
but,
how we look
like,
at 20.
Thinking about the way that I was at that age, their actions are not out of.
Oh, no.
Like.
Well, and think about, like, what we say when we see a 21-year-old who's married and have kids. We're like, you're fucking too young.
You're an idiot. It's like, don't do it.
Yeah.
I mean.
But at the same time, like, you know, it's a new adult romance. So it's.
At the beginning, yeah.
Yeah, I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you know how we feel about that, so.
Hey, man. Again, you had me. You had me.
Got me, man.
You got me, man. Well.
Whew. So good. It's so good. I highly recommend it.
I recommend very much.
Ah, so good.
And I'm gonna say
but again, this is not like a lighthearted.
No.
Nope.
I mean, again.
And she warns you about that.
Yeah. And I'm warning you, if you don't, if you're out. So I think that there's two, you and I are very different. And I'm sure from the readers or the listeners who can, you know, have listened to all of our, they know if you want something that's frivolous and probably doesn't have a lot of meaning, you're going to listen to one of my recommendations. And if yours has more meaning and it's more in depth, then that's what you like, you're going to go with Veronica's recommendation. So if we both liked it, then you know it's probably up your alley.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. Again, last angst I watched was Supernatural, so there you go.
It is what it is.
Right. Well, we're gonna go, and then we're gonna talk to you a little bit about recommendations now, right?
For sure.
For sure.
We'll be right back. And we're back.
We're back.
All right. So, darling, do you want to tell me about your recommendations?
I only have one.
Okay.
So I put in for an ARC copy of Pride and Premeditation by Tirzah Price, and that's Tirzah, and Price like Price.
Nice.
I knew that it would not be something that we would normally do an episode on because it is a YA. But and
nothing wrong with YA.
No,
it's just that it's
wrong.
not really our cup of tea.
No, but it is fashioned after Pride and Prejudice, so I had to.
Which, hello.
Right? So I was like, you know what? I'm definitely putting it. And I got one. So that is my recommendation this week. I'm going to keep it short because I will be writing a review. And listeners, again, if you don't know, because we just started this week, we're doing a little revamp to our website. We're going to start using it more, but we're putting reviews on there of books that maybe we recommend or maybe not, or just like books we read and we're like, hey, maybe steer clear of this one or whatever. We're going to be doing a monthly one, like of the month, like what books we like, kind of like 2-sentence reviews because you know maybe we don't have time to sit down and write a huge ass review, but then we'll have individual reviews.
Jobs.
Yeah. And yeah, because you know, making the money,
paying the mortgage,
flush with cash. Sorry,
don't be suspicious. Don't be
suspicious.
I fucking love that show.
Oh my god, John Romeo.
So sorry.
I'm practically homeless. Just gonna do that one.
Yes.
Oh God, what is his name? Because I love him so much. Oh, it's like I'm drawing a blank.
You talk about your recommendation. I'll look him up.
Anywho, so anyhow, Pride and Premeditation. Yes, it is a YA, but it's very much along the same lines as Pride and Prejudice. I mean, the same sort of. There are a couple kisses in this one, but nothing. I mean, we're talking very, 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 very much like Pride and Prejudice, but they actually talk about the kisses. And what I loved about this is the author kind of threw the genre or the idea on its head a little bit. Elizabeth. So Mr. Bennet has it's called Longbourn and Sons, but he has a solicitor's office. There's no sons. So it's called Longbourn and Sons, and there's no sons. But Collins is a solicitor who's going to be a barrister, who's working he's hoping to take over the business at some point.
A barrister is a lawyer, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I think barrister is for higher. Maybe this is something else we can look up, so I don't sound like an idiot. But
sure,
or at some point. But I think a barrister is higher up in the court, and a solicitor is still a lawyer.
On it, looking it up.
But anyhow, but Elizabeth has been around the office since she was a baby, and so she's very much like the Elizabeth that there would be, as in Pride and Prejudice. Oh yes, do you have an answer for me?
Yes, a barrister is a type of lawyer in common law jurisdictions. Most specialize in courtroom advocacy and litigation, particularly in the higher courts.
Okay, so yeah, that's what I kind of figured. So solicitors more along the lines of business law and things like a lower level. So Elizabeth wants to become she wants to become a barrister, and again, we're talking about they didn't even deviated from the time period, so it's still supposed to be the time period of Pride and Prejudice. So you're talking about 1830, maybe 1810.
So abnormal for a woman to be working.
Very much so, but they don't make it super abnormal. It is. There is a stigma, but all the males in this book are very much like, with the exception of Collins, are like, yeah, you can fucking do this. Like, her dad's even like, show me that you can think logically. You can make a logical argument. Not like, because he talks about ethos, pathos, and logos, and he's like, make it a logos argument, and we'll talk about you then becoming possibly working for me.
Okay, fair.
Yeah, and so the whole crux of the book is Bingley. So Mr. Hurst is Bingley's brother-in-law. Miss Louisa marries. So this is in regular Pride and Prejudice. Louisa marries Mr. Hurst, George Hurst. In this book, someone has murdered George Hurst, and unfortunately, Bingley is standing over the body with a bloody knife.
Of course he is.
Right.
Makes sense.
So
Tracks.
Exactly. So Darcy works for Pemberley Esquire, like the Pemberley law firm. He's a solicitor there, and it's just very good. I have to say, like, some characters that there's a turn for a lot of different characters. I wasn't completely sold on the ending, but I enjoyed it. Like, it was like, it's definitely one of those ones you're like, well, I think it's this, but it wasn't too in depth. I would never have guessed it because it was kind of out of left field, but I enjoyed it. From what I understand, it's going to be a series. It's going to be a Jane Austen mystery series. So I have a feeling it's going to be each, like, Emma might have one, Mansfield Park might have one, so those sort of things.
That's exciting.
It is very exciting. I have to say, honestly, this was very, for the time period it's supposed to be set in, very female empowerment. So, like, if I had a young daughter who was in high school and wanted to read this, because it is kind of, there's death. There's a couple deaths in it. So
obviously,
it might not be good for
like
a little
leaning over
one.
a dead body.
Well, one person was drowned, and then there's like 3 or 4 deaths in it. So maybe not for the little ones, but maybe high school age kids.
Okay.
I say would be very enjoyable. I think it's also I would encourage young women to read it because it does. And there's some prose in there. That made me laugh. There's a couple different sayings that I'm like, they're a little too modern, but I'll take it because I don't care. But one I actually sent to you because I said, somebody's been watching Pride and Prejudice 2005. I think I sent it to you.
Yeah, you did. It should be in our text.
Oh, is that it?
It was a quote. Do you need me to find it? Let me see.
Yeah, because I can't find it right now.
Mother effer. If you go to like info, it should be here. I'll just send it back to you here.
Okay. Yeah, because for some reason, maybe I maybe didn't save it as a.
Yeah, maybe you didn't like actually save it as a screenshot.
I don't think I did. Okay, so it says, it annoys me you insist on switching back and forth between Miss Bennet and Elizabeth, she deflected. Does it now? Darcy slid closer to her on the bench. Which do you prefer I stick with? Miss Bennet, when we are discussing legal matters, she breathed, not daring to take her eyes off of him. Elizabeth in front of my parents and our colleagues, but my friends and sisters call me Lizzie. Lizzie, Darcy breathed, and he closed the distance between them by brushing his lips against hers. Yeah. So that's at the very end, but it's very much the ending of Pride and Prejudice, where he's like, "What do I call you?" And when you list you're very vexed. You call me Mrs. Darcy when you're very vexed, I think is how it ends. But I would very much. It comes out on the 6th, so if you can, and you're a big Pride and Prejudice file like me and Miss Veronica, then I would recommend it.
Yeah, I want to read it. I think.
Yeah.
Oh. Such a good, just like we've talked about, it's like the quintessential enemies to lovers.
It is like what it's all been based on. I mean, and I think that also, if you've loved, because it was my first romance novel, and I think that also speaks to what you kind of like. Bucky Barnes.
Oh my god!
Oh, listener, we have another little thing that we were joking about, because I started watching Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Don't tell me, because I want to see it.
No. This is what we've talked about. Sebastian Stan, or I've been calling him Sebi. Oh my god. So hot.
Why is he so hot?
I don't know. I mean, Anthony Mackie's good looking too. I mean,
sure. Yeah, 100%. Not saying he's not.
No, but Sebi, holy shit. Holy fuck. Because also, I've seen him in other things and been like, holy god, where did you come from? But Bucky Barnes, Bucky Barnes is the epitome of he is our spirit animal for this podcast.
Yeah, I think that might be true.
We need to redeem this poor soul.
Like the broken hero that Yeah.
He is CLBC spirit animal.
The reason like Bucky Barnes is perhaps like the quintessential y'all need some therapy.
He does start to get therapy in these.
I know. I did hear about that.
Yeah. God, he's pretty. Anyhow,
he's so pretty, and I actually don't want to see this movie because he's in some movie with the girl from Divergent. What's her name? The girl who plays Tris.
Yeah, I can't remember her name.
I don't remember her name. P.S. The guy from Parks and Rec, Ben Schwartz.
That's it.
That's it. But god damn it! Now I have to fucking look up what her name is. She was also in that John Green book,
Fault in Our Stars.
Yes, Shailene Woodley. I know.
Shailene.
So Shailene Woodley and Sebastian Stan are in a movie together with, I think, also the dude who played Christian Grey, whatever the fuck his name was. And like TikTok's obsessed with this movie, I think, and one of the scenes where Sebastian Stan kisses Shailene Woodley is like everywhere, and it's incredibly hot. But I looked up the synopsis of the movie, and I'm never fucking watching it because there's a very specific like book trope / plot point that just fucking infuriates me, and it's in this movie. Now, when it is the entire purpose of the book, that is a different thing for me. But when it's an accident, you don't know what's coming, that pisses me off. So anyway, I'm not going to see this movie, but the highlights that I have fucking seen.
How about that TikTok of him on Broadway with his shirt off?
What? You just send that to me later. Shall you?
No, I sent it to you. I've already sent it to you before. Yeah.
Oh, is it the compliment? Oh, fucking hell.
Yeah, I don't know what show it is. I don't know.
It doesn't matter. Like,
it doesn't matter.
Nothing's playing right now anyway on Broadway. Like,
I mean,
but
something's playing in my pants. But
obviously.
I watch it.
Hello.
Right?
God, he is so pretty.
I'm rotten.
Throw a leg over it?
Oh, I'd spank him.
Spank naughty list. Put that on there.
Oh, did I tell you that I told you I was gonna add a comedian to the spank naughtiness.
Please do.
Gonna. Anyhow.
So I do have one recommendation, and it basically piggybacks off of my previous recommendation. So last time, on our episode of Suddenly You, my recommendation was Throttled.
Very apropos for this episode.
I am a teenager. Yes. By by Lauren Asher. I'm gonna work my way through the series because I'm enjoying it very much. My recommendation this time is Collided, which is the second book in the Dirty Air series. Again, Lauren Asher. Now, so this one is, in the first book, you are introduced to like a couple different Formula One teams. Mm-hmm. Liam is the hero, and he is on a different team. But the heroine is the daughter of like the manager for Noah's team from book one. And you know the heroine from book one. And you also know Liam from book one. So at any rate, it's real good. There is some, it's super hot. But there's angst in this one, more so than the first one, that I don't want to give away, but it's more angsty. So I've just read a lot of angsty shit in the last couple weeks.
I'm surprised you're not crying.
No, I mean, I did on Thursday when my husband got a COVID shot.
Well, I know, but...
I know. I've actually cried a lot this week.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to bring it up.
Laughs in broken soul. So anyway, so Collided, it's actually kind of long. It's like Mariana Zapata length long.
Holy shit, okay.
It is. It's like 500 pages.
The book, you just drop it, goes boom.
Just like plunk right on the table. But it's very good. I highly recommend it. I enjoyed Liam very much. Again, like kind of broken hero kind of situation where there's reasons that he is the way he is, and it's great. I enjoyed it very much. Cool. So that's my recommendation. Lauren Asher, Collided. I'm excited to read the next one.
Some paperwork to Congress. I am going to put a motion forward that we call any emotionally scarred or hero in need of rehabilitation, we call a Bucky.
Okay.
You got the Wesleys.
Okay.
From Princess Bride. These are called Buckies.
Oh God, do we have any Wesleys on our list? Probably never.
No, I don't think so.
No, as you wish.
Marriage.
I really wanted our officiant to do that.
I mean, if you told me, I would have done it.
I know, but people were like, honey, no one's going to get that. And I was like, I disagree with you, but they all were like, no, honey, no one's going to get that. I would have laughed my ass off, though. It was my wedding, so fuck the rest of y'all.
Can I tell you that I just rewatched that? I mean, I know Marriage because of memes and pop culture, but it had been a good 25 years since I had seen Princess Bride the first time.
I watched it like last year, I think.
I watched it last year, yeah.
Oh,
I very much enjoyed it.
I still enjoy it. I watched it with our toddler, but I fast forwarded through like the darker parts.
Oh, there's some dark parts. I always forget that Christopher Guest is in. I was like, hey, Christopher Guest. Hey, where did you come from, Mrs. Jamie Lee, or Jamie Lee Curtis? Where did you come from? They're married.
Such a good movie. Yeah. So anyway, that's my recommendation.
Yeah, Bucky's out there.
We love the Buckies.
We love the Buckies. So we've got a lot going on, guys, coming up. It's gonna be exciting. So this coming week, we have Tracy Bannister's Straight from the Heart, which is another arc that both of us will be reading this time, not just me. Yeah. And
that book actually comes out on Monday the 12th. Our episode will air on Tuesday the 13th.
Yeah, and she's completely fine with that, so we're good. And then the week after that will be Shel Sloan's Off Track.
Okay. Yeah.
So no spinning wheel for a little while, but I think you guys can be able to handle it.
Yep, you'll be all right.
If you guys, seriously, if you have any recommendations, feel free to contact us either via Twitter or email. Where can they contact us, my dear?
Girl, we are everywhere.
I was going to say, and I've been trying to, now that I have a new computer, get us up to date with the fucking YouTube. So I'm trying, guys. We're up to like 4 or 5 right now.
Don't worry. Someone keeps commenting links to porn. So that's nice.
It's been keeping me busy going and deleting them off. So thank you, fuckface, whoever you are.
Seriously, you fucking asshole.
Die in a ditch alone.
Wow.
Awesome.
Whoa. We've said that a few times, and for legal reasons, it's a joke.
Legally reasons. This is satire.
This is satire. No one means that literally.
No, I don't know these people. It's all fictional.
No, we have no idea who these people are. No. Okay, so you can find us on our website, which Ray keeps up to date because I don't know fucking anything about that. ChickLitBookClubPodcast.com. You can also find us on Twitter at ChickLitPodcast, on TikTok at ChickLitBookClub, Pinterest at ChickLitBookClubPodcast. You can email us at chicklitbookclubpodcast@gmail.com. And you can find us on YouTube, and you're just going to have to Google that shit because I'm not fucking reading this URL to you. Yeah. You're all smart. You know how to do it.
Yep. And I would say if you're under the age of 18 and you're listening to our podcast, welcome, ? Please,
we have to stress that we are an 18 plus podcast. We are explicit.
You might not find it if you're logged in as yourself because it is explicit and 18 or older. Because I've used the word cum, fuck, cunt tonight. So
did you say cunt tonight?
I possibly did. I don't know. I
don't know. I definitely had. You and I texted it to each other a few times this week.
Yeah, I mean, I reserved the C word for real pieces of work. So maybe
I think we should take it back.
You know what? Let's do it. You know, and let's destigmatize cocksucker because guess what? That could be a good thing.
Yeah, I don't actually have an issue with that.
No, I mean people use it as a bad thing, like
right. So Ray and I have a group chat with a friend of ours who is a gay man.
The Tom Hayden of our.
He's the Tom Hayden of our group chat. But a couple times I've been like, that cocksucker. And then I'm like, no offense to anyone.
You know,
I don't mean it as, I guess I shouldn't, it made me like second guess. Like maybe I shouldn't say that. It's not a demeaning thing, whatever. It's fine.
You know what? I mean, because it is, no, I mean, really, yeah, I mean, come on. I mean, I guess if you'd use all teeth, then it is.
Oh my God, it is. Almost spit wine everywhere. How is it that you keep doing that to me?
I actually wait sometimes and watch you take a drink.
You're
and
such
then
an asshole.
I am. Open your fucking ears. I love you.
I love you too.
So I always think whenever I see something like that, there's a Family Guy where Peter he says something dickish and then he just pushes Lois with his foot and goes, "Love you,
love you,
love you."
Jesus.
And yeah, no, I really don't do that. That happened to be that I was like,
I would not put it past you if you were like, "Oh, she just took a sip of wine. I'm gonna say something ridiculous and try and make her spit it out."
I do not know half the shit that comes out of my mouth. I'm drunk half the time. I don't either.
You're not drunk half the time.
Tonight I'm high on sinus pills. All right, guys.
It happens. Please rate us and review us. That's our last request. If you are on, it matters most on iTunes, really. But if you are listening to us from Apple Podcasts, please rate us and review us.
Get the word out. We would love, if you like us, please share us with others.
Yes, please do.
Pass us around with a fucking town bicycle, bitch.
Oh, that was in this book too.
Oh God! Oh God! I mean, I made it in a fun way. Yay!
Yay!
On that note.
Anyway, thank you so much for listening to this podcast. Emily McIntire, if you have stuck with us through the last couple hours of your life, thank you so much for this book. Thank you for the first one. Thank you in advance for the third one and the fourth one, because I'm going to fucking read that shit. I'm not a stalker, I swear to God, but we do follow you on the TikTok.
No, and the interactions we've had with you have been awesome. So we're
so
very excited
lovely
about it. And you seem like a very lovely person. So
I'm gonna post an unboxing video of the signed copy of Beneath the Stands that I ordered. I'm pretty excited about it.
And if you haven't, we have upped our TikTok game. So if you have not seen Luna, the podcast spokesdog, we encourage you to check out.
She is a hoot.
Yes. A hoot and a half, and you'll be seeing more of her. Let's just say that.
Yay!
Because she's an unwilling participant.
Well, she does not get a say. Sorry.
She doesn't, because she needs to get a fucking job if she wants to stay around here. Get a job. Kibble doesn't by itself. Anyhow. It does
not.
Gorgeous. My lovely.
Oh, so good to see you tonight.
I know. I love you. And I love you, dear listener. So
yes, and happy reading. Please let us know what you're reading. Hop on Twitter or TikTok and let us know what you're reading this week.
Sounds good.